On today's program, we will discuss where the best place to put a tube. No, it ain't where the sun don't shine. I, with apologies to my podcast listeners, I am sitting in our kind of museum. This is the place that Terry built that houses all our cool stuff. You know, we have the original power of phono stage, the one we did for $59.95. We've got all kinds. It's kind of cool. And if you visit us, which I encourage you to do, you'll see it. And over here we have this old turntable that I dragged all the way from Singapore. It's broken now, but oh God, this is even the needle's gone. Sorry. I don't know. I used to have an old sewing machine needle. Anyway, kind of cool. So our question comes from Mitch in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Oh, home of the Packers. Not much of a football fan, but hey, I know something. Not much. Hey, Paul, I'm looking to upgrade the system in my listening room with a new pre and power amp. I'd like to get that smooth tube sound, but don't want the maintenance requirements of a full tube system. Yeah, I got it. If I only get one tube component, pre or power amp, what should it be and why? Thanks, and love the show. Mitch. Well, thank you, Mitch. And it's people like you that make it worth my while to actually sit out here on a Sunday afternoon and when I could be enjoying the outside, because it's really nice outside. I don't know what happened to our March. Usually March is the snowiest period that we get. But today, oh my God, it's gorgeous out there. It's almost 70 degrees. Anyway, tubes. Well, many people know my opinion about tubes. I love the sound of tubes. We can get pretty close to that sound with MOSFETs and the appropriate circuitry, which we do in our Stellar series. I mean, we come pretty close. But tubes are tubes. And in our BHK series, we put tubes where they belong, and that is on the input stage. And I know I hammer on this a lot. I'm just not a fan of tubes in the output stage. Tubes don't deliver current all that well. It's not their forte. What they do best is to take input signals, small signals, and amplify them in the voltage domain. And there you get all the benefits of a tube. They last longer. You get a good year out of it. I mean, heck, you can get 10 years out of a tube. I don't, personally. The tubes that I use in the BHK preamp, about every year I go in and pop them out, put new ones in, and whoa, it comes to life. And, you know, that's just tubes. I mean, these are fragile glass envelopes that are boiling electrons out of metal, and over time, they change their characteristics. But in direct answer to your question, I suppose so much of it depends on the other equipment you have. My general answer is going to be the preamp. Generally, if someone said, hey, this or that, go with the preamp. Because the sooner you can take a small signal and get it up to speed, up to a larger signal in fine fashion, so you don't lose detail, which is where we would have the preamp, right? The smallest signal starts at the preamp. I would be an advocate of having it there. So preamp first, power amp second, though you know what I'm going to say. You need it in both, right? But when we designed the M700 and the S300 Stellar products, we did all of it through the BHK preamp, which is a tube preamp. And I'm really glad we did, because even though the GCD, which is the partner in the Stellar series of the preamp and DAC, even though it's a great sounding product, I'm glad we didn't design the Stellar series around it. We just made sure that it was then designed around the tube amplifier, so that all of it worked together, so that with tubes or without tubes, the Stellar products really fit in nicely and all have that same synergy of sound. But that's our products. So, and I don't want to talk too much about our products. I just would like to suggest that the important thing with tubes is to keep them out of the output stage, keep them on the input stage, and if given a choice, because you have a decent sounding amplifier already, go for the preamp. Okay? Thanks. Appreciate the question. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.